Welcome to the Chelsea Fans channel. I hope you're feeling as good as we are. I still feel like I'm on cloud nine, to be honest with you. I know it sounds ridiculous, it was only a home draw, but the reason that we're on cloud nine is because what we demand from our team is commitment and passion and fight. And I think that we got that in abundance yesterday, and we got our rewards. We got a bit of luck, but they're the breaks, and I really do feel delighted. It was so nice to see the team really fight for the cause, and I think that what typified yesterday's performance was the performance of John Terry. And I'm going to use yesterday's last-minute goal as an excuse to wax lyrical about the great man and just make a video that is a homage to him. So I'm going to talk you through some of my favourite John Terry moments. And please comment below, let me know, do you agree with these or what ones have I missed out? I think the first thing to obviously acknowledge is that from minute one of John Terry, from his debut goal against Gillingham, we knew that we had a player. The passion that he showed once that goal against Gillingham went in hasn't changed throughout his whole career, and you see what he did yesterday. He dived headfirst into the Matthew Harding stand, which is the dream of a fan, isn't it? He obviously plays the game the way a fan would. If I were to score a goal in front of the Matthew Harding, I would dive straight in. I wouldn't have gone for block 14, John. I would have gone for gate 16. That's really where the party's at. But aside from that, we're obviously cut from the same cloth there. I think if we go back to 2004, we just lost Marcel Desailly, arguably one of the greatest defenders that the world has ever seen. And Mourinho made John Terry captain. It was obviously a really good decision because we won the league. We won the league that year and we broke all sorts of records. We broke records both in terms of the amount of points that we accrued, and we also broke records in terms of the amount of goals that we didn't concede. It was the most clean sheet, it was the biggest clean sheet record that the league's ever seen. So clearly got something right. He was also voted Player of the Year by his fellow professionals, and that was the first time that a defender has won that award for over a decade, which is obviously a huge accolade. I think it's very important, as a defender, obviously his priority is to stop the other team scoring goals, but he offers so much more than that. That year he scored 8 goals in 53 games, and one of those goals was probably one of my favourite ever goals scored at the Bridge, and that was that late winner against Barcelona. That goal just, I think that there's a few occasions where the Bridge really has rocked. Napoli is a good example. When I was very young, Real Zaragoza is an example. But when John Terry scored that last minute goal against Barcelona, or late goal against Barcelona, that really was a massive one. And I think that year he was also voted the defender of the competition. Yeah, obviously Chelsea didn't win it that year, but he was voted the best defender in the competition, which I suppose would go a little way to make him feel better, because I think that we probably deserved to win it that year, but it wasn't to be. In 2005 and 6, again, we won the league, and Terry was a huge reason why. I think we got 91 points that year, which was a record, and John Terry was at the heart of that again. I think that he scored some brilliant goals for us, some massive goals for us that year. But crucially, the goals were scored in 1-0 wins. I think it's very easy for somebody to knock in the fourth in a 5-0 win. He scored 3 goals that were solitary goals in 1-0 wins. That's magnificent. So not only is he saving us points at the other end of the pitch, he's responsible for 9 points going forward. I just don't know if a defender's ever done that. I think Jamie Carragher recently said that John Terry's the best ever Premier League defender. And when you hear things like that, it's sort of impossible not to acknowledge that he is. When you think about the things that he's done for us as well, he's played in goal for us. That game against Reading, we won the game 1-0. John Terry played in goal. He swallowed his tongue in Cardiff, and he had to go to hospital, but he discharged himself in order to get back to celebrate with his teammates. He dislocated his elbow, and in no time at all, he managed to play in a Champions League final. This is a level of commitment that I don't think that the Premier League has ever seen before. A player swallowing his tongue, discharging himself, having no recollection of the incident, he was concussed, in order to get back to celebrate a Carling Cup win with his teammates, is a level of commitment and desire that this club is founded upon. And it's in an era where I think there's a displacement between fans and players. We really do feel detached from a lot of players. John Terry kind of fills that gap. He's in the precipice. So it's just magnificent to see him doing what he did yesterday. Another huge accolade for him was in 2009. 2009-10 was a great year for Chelsea Football Club. He was the first ever captain to guide us to a double. But in that year, we won 2 games 1-0, and they were massive games. One of them was against Manchester United, for obvious reasons. The other one was against Burnley. That Burnley fixture came at a time that was very difficult for John Terry as a bloke. A lot have been written about him, accurately, I'm sure, but a lot have been written about his personal life, which isn't the point of a football player, is it? A football player should be making the headlines for things that happen on the pitch. Personal life is personal. That didn't happen, but a lot have been written about him going into that Burnley game. Chelsea were to go and win that game 1-0. Who do you think scored the goal? Of course, it was John Terry. I just can't think. I'm running out of superlatives to describe this bloke, but it was incredible. And I suppose that brings us on to yesterday. He's now played 700 games for Chelsea Football Club, which is an outrageous tally in today's games, particularly when he puts his body and his neck on the line constantly like that. And he scored 40 goals. There is no end to his talents. So I suppose now I'm just going to have to end this espresso review and just say Jamie Carragher got it right. John Terry is the greatest player to have ever played in the Premier League. Go on, you Blues.